everybody, and welcome back to another video. Now this one I'm going to show you how you can make your very own custom bus route for Euro Truck Simulator 2 using the DBus Client and TrukersMP. Now, as you may or may not realise, that DBus recently gave us the option now where we can download the client and drive a bus from city to city in ETS using the TrukersMP, and we can actually now stop at the bus garages and pick up passengers. Now, this is the main web page where you will download the client from. If you just go to dbusworld.com and you'll see this blue square and just download the client. Very quick indeed it is, not very big. Once you've installed it, it should look like this. Okay, this is the DBus client. Once you've installed it, you'll get a shortcut icon on your desktop. Just double click your desktop icon and this will come up. Now, it will default, I think it defaults to TrukersMP bus routes. So there's the map, TrukersMP, and on this drop down list, you get a list of pre-made bus routes. So there's about, we've got 50 of them there. So there's 50 bus routes. Most of them are not that long. I think there are about 3, maybe 4 stops maximum. There might be some longer ones there. I've only done a few of them. So you can probably finish them in about 40 minutes. But the best thing is, you've now got the option where you can actually make your very own custom bus routes. And I've so far done about 8 of them for me and my friends to use. So the way you do it is, and I'm going to show you all this in a second. In the drop down list, you've got TrukersMP, right? And when you look at the drop down list, you've got 50 bus routes to play on TrukersMP. If you want to play in single player, i.e. without TrukersMP, you just go in and play on normal single player. You can play on Pro Mods, and you can play on all these other maps in the list. However, do bear in mind that in single player, you will not get a GPS line already set up for you as a default. So for example, if we're going to be playing on SCS Europe 144, okay, default Eurotruck map, we've got our lines. They're not numbered in this particular list, but it looks a hell of a lot more than 50. So you could pick a line, I don't know, let's say Poznan to Wrocław. It's about 2 hours and 16 minutes long, and you would click start and off you go. But what you've got to remember is, because you're not on TrukersMP, you cannot get a GPS line already set up for you, and you won't be able to pick up passengers. Passengers and GPS are exclusive only to TrukersMP. But there is a way around that. You can get your GPS line up, which I'll probably show you in another video. You can get your GPS line showing when playing in single player. It's a bit of a faff around, but it works. Right, so anyway, I'm going to show you what I've done. So this is my own custom routes called string lines. You can call it obviously whatever you want, but string being short for string bean, and I've called mine string lines. And in the drop down menu, I've got 8 of them so far. I've got 8 custom routes, numbered 1 to 8. And unlike the default maps, go back to TrukersMP, you see, look, they're not in chronological order, so it makes a bit of a pain if you want to look for a particular city to start from. So you've got Liverpool, London, then you go to Carlisle. I mean, they're just not in alphabetical order. But with mine, I wanted to simplify it for me and my friends that I share this with, so that we've got Ancona, Bern, Kaliningrad, Torino, Poznan. It's all in alphabetical order, and I've numbered them as well. Right, so that's what your DBus client looks like. That's how you will select your maps. Now let's just get rid of that for a second. And I'm going to show you now what the default, if I can find it. Right, so this is what the default Truckers map routes look like. Now, as I said, you've got 50 of them. You remember I showed you down in this list. Let's get back to TrukersMP. Whoops. TrukersMP. In the drop down list, you've got up to 50 of them. And this is that very list. You drop down, you've got 50. See, got 50 of them. And this is all of the I've forgotten the word now. The coordinates. This is all the coordinates you need to input. So for example, Liverpool to London is 831 kilometers. So you put your starting point, Liverpool, put the coordinates in, your X, Y, and Z, and then you've got Manchester, Sheffield. You can have up to 10 stops. No more than 10. You can have a minimum of 1 if you just want to go from one stop to the next, but you can have a maximum of 10. The default one here, as you can see, is 1, 2, well, from Liverpool, 1, 2, 3, about 4 stops. They're all averaging about 3 to 4 stops. Whereas my ones, I wanted something longer, but this is my one. I called strings lines. You've got to rename it. And mine have got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one's got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I've got one that's got 6 or maybe 7 in there. Let's just get that back. Now, where do you find these bus routes? Well, if you go to your documents folder, the DBus Client, when you install it, will put a folder in here called DBus Client. So documents in your C drive, your default C drive where Windows operating system is on, just go there, go to your DBus Client, and you'll see all your folders in here. So there's TrukersMP, which I've just showed you, right? There's my one, stringlines.txt. So when you make your own routes and you give it a name, this is where you're going to place it. Okay, so you'll open DBus Client, and then you'll see. I'm not going to go back because I've got lots of personal information in those in these folders. But you'll go to DBus Client. When you get into DBus Client, you'll see a yellow folder called Lines. Double click on Lines, and this is where all the maps are, your map bus routes. That's where you're going to place that. Right, so let's show you now the coordinates, how you would input these. Now, this is not available for actual download. This is only an online read version only. Now I'm going to place a link, and I'm not going to place a direct link to this because this is not mine. I'm not claiming this as my own. I don't know who done this. It could have been the owner of the YouTube video that I downloaded this from. So I'm going to put the website, the YouTube link of where you can actually download this to, which means you're going to have to click on the link and you can actually watch their video showing you how to do the routes, which is where I got all my information from. But I thought I would maybe just try and elaborate a little bit more by doing my own. Yeah, so this is where I downloaded the coordinates from. So it's in Excel, as you can see. Right. So how do you get this into your text file? Because you can't copy, it's only read only. So what you do is, let's bring back my file. So I wanted to pick one, say, from Anne Connor. So then you think, right, okay, Anne Connor. Now, thankfully, this is in alphabetical order. You click cities. I'm sure it did. I'm sure A to Z. Yep, there we go. You can just get that in alphabetical order. And as you can see, there's Anne Connor. Now, this list is showing you every bus garage that is available on the default map and the DLCs. Okay. So, if we're going to pick Anne Connor, these are the coordinates of where the bus garage is. So what you've got to do is, you can't just highlight this See, it doesn't work. You can't right click or left click. You can't right click to do a copy. You can't do anything. So what you got to do is, if you just click the square so that you've got a blue box around it, not here or there, click on here. And if you notice, it's come up at the top there. Can you see that? You might have to zoom in. So what you then can do is you can left click on your mouse and you can highlight it. Just up to there. Don't make sure you don't copy all of that. Just copy that. Then you can right click. Sorry, not right click. You highlight it and then you've got to press Control C on your keyboard. Control C. That will copy it. And then, let's just Control C that myself then. So I'll now just Control C. And if I come to the bottom, let's do Control. I don't know if I can right click with the mouse. Paste. There we go. Yeah, you can paste it. And there we have the line. And there we've got the coordinates. It's as simple as that, guys. Okay. So let's pick another one. What was my second one? It was casino. I wanted to go from Ann Connor to casino. So let's scroll down here. And hooray, yes, there's casino, right? So click that box there to the right where all the coordinates are. It's come up at the top there. Left click your mouse, hold it down, drag, highlight it blue, Control C. Come to your nice new folder where you're doing your own lines. Post it underneath. Paste. I'm right clicking on the mouse to bring this up. Click paste. Just left a little gap there, so I just bring that up. And there's the second one. And that's all you do. My third one was Napoli or Naples, because remember some of the cities, as you may well know, have got more than one kind of name or pronunciation. So let's scroll down to N, to Naples. There we are. So you can see which country it is in, Italy. Either called Napoli or Naples. Again, left click, get the box around it, comes to the top there, look, left click with your mouse, highlight it, Control C. Let's bring our little example up, go underneath and paste. And then as you can see, we've now got 3 lines, and you can do this up to 10 times. Okay, now what you can do is you could actually have your Euro truck open at this time, and you can plot your route on your map. You know, you can just look at the cities on the map to get an idea of where you're going to be travelling from. Right, okay, so I think we've done enough there. You've got the idea. But it's not quite over yet. Now you've got to look at this very end bit. You see where it's got time, brackets in minutes. Now, what this means is, from Ann Connor to casino, you need to put how long it takes to get there. In minutes, not hours and minutes, but in minutes. Now, you don't have to do this, and I can tell you right off the bat, I don't do it. And the reason is, because at the moment there is no penalties for being late when you arrive at your destination. You don't get paid for doing what you're doing, unlike when you're driving trucks in simulator. You know, you get your experience points, you get paid for what you do, and you get penalised if you're late. None of that happens when using DBus Client and driving your buses. It's only if you really want to do it. So at the moment, for me, it's just a bit of a hassle to add the times in. The only time you're going to notice it is when you look in your logbook. But I'm just going to show you anyway what it means. So, for example, as you can see, I put Anaconda. That might actually be right, 360 minutes. I can't remember. But then I got fed up with doing it and I just started putting random numbers in, which you can do. So for example, Anaconda to Casino, 360 minutes. So if it's like 4 hours, you would go like 4 hours, 60 minutes in an hour, 120 for 2 hours, 240. You know, you do it like that, yeah, you get the idea. And you just add it all up in minutes. And you do that for each one. Except for the very last stop, you put a 0 in. You've got to put a 0 in, okay? And make sure that everything is after the little period or the comma there. Now, you can put any number you want in there if you're not really bothered about the timetable, because you might always end up being late anyway. And like I said, you don't get penalised and you don't get any goodies for being on time or anything like that. So, you know, it just saves time. So just put any random number you like. So I've got 360, 140, 305, 210. You know, I've kind of judged roughly how long it would take me to get from each one. If you wanted to be precise, you've got to open up Eurotruck, place your truck on your starting city, then do, you know, a destination, setting your destination to the first city. And then, as you know, in Eurotruck, it comes up with how long the route is, how long that it takes you to get there, etc, etc. So that's how you do it. Then you would move your truck to the next stop, say Casino in this case, and then draw another red line on your GPS from Casino to Naples or Napoli. Look at the time, and then you would write it down in here. Okay, hopefully you get that. But or the other way you can do it is to actually do the route like this and then drive it and jot down how long it takes you to get from one place to the next. So if it's 3 hours, 4 hours, convert the hours into total minutes and put it all after the comma. Really simple, to be quite honest. Except the last stop, as I said, that's where you'll finish. So DBus Client will recognise that it's the last stop. And then you'll actually, I'll need to find the other file. If I can just find the other one. I need to show you something else just quickly. Yeah, this is the default TrukersMP bus routes. Now you'll see at the top there it says TrukersMP bus routes. When you're making your own, you've got to rename it. Okay, rename it to anything you want. Keep the word TrukersMP there, and make sure you keep the spaces correctly with that little dash line on the top. Very important. Make sure. So you can work it out. So I've got one cursor line there in between, one in between, one in between. And then you can renumber them and structure them in any order that you like, and you can have as many as you want. So just rename it, and then once you've renamed it, and then you open up your DBus Client. Actually, I've got to because I've been messing about with my own file. Remember, I put those 3 lines in to show you what to do. I've got to close that now. But I'm not going to save. That's it. So now when I open up the DBus Client, strings lines, and there's my 8 routes. So you've got to rename your own text file to whatever you want, and you can have as many as you like, or you can just keep adding to the same one you've got. So I've got 8 of them so far, having an absolute blast with it. It works perfectly, never failed once, and I've got some really cracking, really long routes here that can last about 90 minutes, which is great when doing multiplayer with my friends on TrukersMP, so we can have you know, a really good session doing 1 or 2 of these long trips. So I'm not sure if there's anything else I can really show you. As I said, I'm going to put a link in the description to the video where I downloaded the coordinates from. If you've got any questions, then please do ask in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. What I'll do in the next video, I'm going to show you how you can get the GPS line when using single player. Now remember, you can't get passengers on a bus in single player. This is totally exclusive to TrukersMP only with passengers, and the GPS line is also exclusive to TrukersMP. So once you make your routes, you're going to get your GPS line, you're going to get your bus passengers. In single player, you're not going to get a GPS line and you're not going to get passengers. You'll just have to sort of role play and pretend. You can open your doors, but you just won't see any passengers in single player. But of course, the good thing about single player is you've got AI traffic in there. I think you could probably also use it maybe on the SCS convoy servers. I'm not sure if it would work on that, but you give it a try. So anyway, that's how you would do your own line. Pretty straightforward. And once you've done your lines, you can come back to your dbusworld.com dashboard, remember where you downloaded it, and it shows me so far I've driven 21 lines. Shows me all the kilometers driven distance. But this is the bit you want to look at the top, the logbook. This is your logbook, and these are all the lines I've done, and these are all the routes I've done. And you click link, and there's a list of your bus stops. So in this case, Dusseldorf, this is one of the default ones. It was a short one, only 4 stops. Dusseldorf to Prague. I picked up 12 passengers overall. There were 4 bus stops. And there's the date and time, and these are all the stats on the right hand side. And it tells you how late you are and all the other good stuff. You can create a company. You can look at various other companies that are down there set up by other people, and plenty more to look at there. So I just get back to the main page. Right, so yeah, have fun with that, guys, and make your own routes and have some fun with it. Remember, you can only do bus routes if the city has a garage, and not all cities have bus garages in them. I was actually amazed that Spain, and I'll just show you that. I'll just show you that on here. Disappointed, so disappointed that Spain. We can scroll down. See, this is in our. Let's get this in alphabetical order. Okay, Spain. See, Spain isn't in the list. Spain is just not there at all. There are no bus garages in Spain. In the UK, you've only got a few. One in Birmingham, Cambridge, Carlisle, Dover, and so forth. Most of them, you've got quite a few in Italy. You've got a couple in Lithuania. So, quite a few in Germany, quite a few in France. Some in Denmark. Only 2 in the Czech Republic. And only 1 in Belgium. So I think I must have exhausted every single bus garage in this at the moment with my 8 maps. Probably just a few more I can do before I've used every single bus garage. My last one, I think, I was near Poland. You got a couple in Slovakia. So yeah, when you look at the map, not every city will have a bus garage. Consult this list, right? This is a list of every bus garage. If it's not on this list, forget looking for it on the ETS map. It won't be there. You'll just be wasting your time. So this is fantastic, this Excel spreadsheet. It's really fantastic. So a big thanks to the person that put this together and shared it for us all to use. Alright then guys, so I'm going to leave it there. I hope I've covered everything. I can't really think of anything more to say. It's quite straightforward. It is simple once you get to know it. So have fun, and who knows? Maybe I'll see you on the road passing each other on one of the bus routes in TrukersMP. So until the next time guys, I'm just going to say cheerio, and until the next time, bye for now.